Alright, so this is a very important lecture. It's about controlling windows and game objects. So let's go to Unity. Now, by controlling, we mean moving things around, rotating things, scaling things, and this can be done all with the control panel. Now, the control panel does not have any name, but it's all the way to the top left. And you cannot move that. It will always be in the top left. Alright? So the hand here is called just the manual hand, and then you have the panning here with this tool, the rotation, scaling, and selecting. Alright, so there's 5 of them, and they all have shortcuts. So if you press Q, you will end up on the hand. If you press the W key, you will end up using this pan. If you press the E key, you will end up in the rotation, and then R for the scaling, and then the T for the selection. Now, the reason why I'm pressing Q, W, E, R, T right now, nothing is happening, is because we have nothing selected. So let's go ahead and select a game object to be able to do that. Alright, so remember, you need to have a game object selected if you want to be able to use these. And right now, I'm going to select the bottle, and now I'm pressing the Q button, and as soon as I did that, it went straight to the hand. Now, if I press W, check this out. It went to the moving, the panning. If I press E, now it's going to rotation, and then R, and then T. Okay? So most of the time, you do not need to press center and global. These are to change the center of rotation. So the pivot point can be centered to the object, or can be global, or usually it's already where your sprite has its origin point. So usually you never have to change these, but sometimes you do, and you'll have to use that. But right now, don't worry about it. The most important ones are the moving. So I'm going to select, in order to be able to use these, as you can see, I'm going to go here and select the panning, and I'm inside of the game tab. And inside of this game tab, I'm trying to move the bottle, and I can't, right? It's impossible, because there's nothing you can do in a game tab. And many people have this problem when they're like, oh, I cannot do what I want, it's locked. Why? That's because you're in the game tab. You need to go in the scene tab. If you do not see the scene tab, you can always go back to window and press command 1 or control 1 to see the scene. Now, you can always move that window around, so that's something that people can do and get confused. As you can see right now, I moved the scene so that it's a free manipulation. I can just have a free control and put it anywhere I want and any size I want, which is great whenever you have lots of objects in your game, but could be confusing because sometimes if you click back on Unity, your scene disappears. So you can always click back on Window and Scene to bring it back. Or you can always click back on the Scene tab and put it back anywhere you want. Right now I'm putting back to where it was, and I can see just the way it was. Okay, so no, that's the good way of doing it. Now, I want to show you that I'm going to press the pan tool. Here is the pan tool, and now I can go left and right. All right, that's cool, right? Simple. Now I'm going to go into the move tool. By the way, the pan tool does not just move one item, it moves all the items around. Even though I have the bottle selected, it also moves the camera and any other object that I would have. So click on the bottle and then click on the move, the one that's right next to it, which are the 4 arrows going in every direction. Okay, or press W, there's a shortcut. As soon as you do this, you see a red and green inset. These are arrows that would allow you to move in the X direction, which is the red one. Now it's yellow because it's selected. Or take the green one and move it in the green selection. Now, what you could do is also move it in the Z direction. As you can see, it's here. But since we are in a 2D game, the Z direction does not make much sense. Okay, it's only X and Y. So that's how you do to move objects. All right. Now, what if I want to make it bigger? I want this object to be bigger. Well, you can click on the scaling, which is the R key or the scale on the top right. Okay, that's this one, the one with the arrows going and showing that it's expanding. So once you select this, the arrows now became squares, or yes, red box and a green box. And these are ways to rescale your object. You can scale it in the X direction, but now we are distorting the object. So press Ctrl Z if you messed up, and you can scale it up and down as well. Okay? Now, if you want a uniform scale in every direction, select the white square at the center of the object. As soon as you select this, you can move it right and left or up and down, and this would use it and do a uniform scaling. And usually I advise you to do that. If you want to scale things outside, you should use a modeling program to be able to model the object differently. Try to avoid using Unity to scale things the weird way. All right, so the last one that I wanted to show you is the rotation. Now the rotation, as you already know, I'm not going to go into too many details. You can select one of the circles and I would rotate it in any direction, or you can select this circle and move it this way, and that's pretty much the gist of it for the rotation. Now there's the select tool, but the reason why I'm not saying much about it is that there isn't much going on to it. You just click there and then you can move objects around, that's all. Okay, it just selects. You can select a corner and do free transforms as well. Okay, so that's another way, but anything that you can do with the others can be done with this one as well. So it doesn't give any more new ways of doing things. It's just a different ways of doing things. All right, so I'll see you guys in the next lecture.